Thoughts Podcast here, episode number 71. And in this episode, we're going to do another free to play guide, tips a little bit to help you guys with dailies specifically. And then we're going to go dive into another new character at the end to showcase them. Last time was Kinesis. We did Angelic Buster before that. I got a nice one in store again today. And then we're going to go kind of at the 6 month mark of the year, halfway through the year. We're going to sort of reflect on the past year and maybe 6 months, past year maybe, where how much the game has changed. Because I was talking to a buddy that just came back. He's been gone for almost 2 years, and there's just been so much that has changed, but also a lot that has been the same, right? So I just wanted to sort of reflect on that and remind myself and everyone else how much the game has progressed, improved, been easier, how content has changed, things like that, and sort of with the next upcoming rebalance and V4 coming up, how it's going to change even more. But I wanted before that reflect on things that we've done in the past that have been implemented in the past. So quickly, if I didn't talk about it last time, the first thing I wanted to talk about was alts, right? A lot of people had questions about, I briefly mentioned all the alts that I have, why they're such, what levels I got them to, and, what I use them for, basically. And so I wanted to showcase specifically my Ho Young, because that was the most recent one. Got it to level 180 because of the burning event, 179. And so I wanted to showcase how I got it to this level so quickly and what I did. So the first thing that I did was I tried to get to SF 160 you saw there, but I need to go into trade server at first to showcase so what Star Force I wanted to get to ideally. So I put my alts to SF 180. So you see I'm at SF 174 there, and I actually had these accessories on it. So the reason they're in the storage now is because I scissored them, and so actually, yeah, I can just put them back. And I think that should be enough. So yeah, that's plenty enough. Okay. So this is what I was at, 181 with the accessories. So this is why you want to do your dailies. You want to get these accessories. This is from Monster Park. So Monster Park is a great weekly boss that you like 380. So I can craft all of these things as well. Remember, little reminders, you only can use one per character. So you cannot stack them like double rings. Like I have 2 pendants here the same. You cannot do that with the Monster Park. It's not going to allow you to. So just keep that in mind. I made that mistake before. But 180 is what I got to. So I got to, Uniques, Star Force 18s. I would craft them on my own, but I also sometimes would just buy them off of TS. And they are usually priced, let's see, for Thief. Yeah, not too bad. 130, depending. And for me, it didn't really matter because I was in SF 180. I had my kind of my own party that I had going on with alt accounts to help level it up and guildies and stuff like that to help. So that was a little bit of a hack there. But yeah, the reason why, and you may think it's pretty expensive, and let's be honest, it kind of is, right? So I wouldn't recommend, for most players that this is achievable, but this is sort of my baseline. And what I did was I invested in RA top and bottom because of the Star Force, right? Instead of like an 18 Star Force, I could get all the way up to 32. Right? And that's what got me to 180. And then I use hyperstats just to level it up to get my Star Force up to get up to 180. So this is sort of, I've seen people get to 194. 180 is the most achievable for me, and I keep these. And it's nice because once I'm done with the RA, you saw that I put it in trade station because these are 0 cuts. So I cycled through it, cut them over to another thief alt, and then once I got to 0 cuts, I just posted them in trade server. So you can see here I'm still above 160. So 160 is the SF160 is for the Chaos Daily Dungeon. So I tried to keep it above that so I can use it as an alt. And then the goal for levels is 175. So 175 so I can get these legendary powders. So like, obviously right below that is uniques only. So 175 is that cutoff that I tried to get to for all my alts. And so that is so that, the investment pays for itself in the end, right? So all these unique 18s, now they're part of my CDD army, right? And then getting to 175, now they're part of my elite dungeon, daily dungeon army. And then what I did with these is I just posted them for I think the going rate is probably around here. It's just over 1 bill for each of these. And so they pay for themselves as well. So it's pretty nice where even though I'm investing in this clean, I use a Star Force scroll to get them up to Star Force 15 and 16. But then after you're done with them, you can make your money back and then buy another one. So it's not really super expensive. You do have to pay up front, but it pays for itself at the end, right? So that is something that I did that helped me out a ton. And the nice thing about these epic ones, they don't cost crystals, right? So you just go in here, you just go into the gold leaf shop, and then use these 400. And the nice thing is these are tradable or exchange via storage. So it doesn't have to be on your alt. It can be on your main that has gold leaves, and you can just use those scissors and swap them over to your alt or wherever it is. So for these epic accessories, sorry, not unique, these epic accessories, they're game changers. They're huge, definitely. And these unique ones, they require scissors. So that's why I'm trying to keep these around. And then I move these cuts. So I lose all these uses, all these cuts, and then move it to alts, from alt to alt. So see, this one's 3 uses as well. And so my Legion is at 8,200. And the nice part about this as well is that my Legion power stays high, right? So it's the levels and the Star Force, all of that keeps my Legion power high. So I can maintain my coins. I can maintain my coins for my Legion blessing. And then if the shop ever gets any better and adds more stuff to it, eventually down the line, I'll just have a surplus of coins, another resource to use. So yeah, that is a simple way. That is how I do it. Now, I think most people would probably do the SF144 route. So with unique 17s, or if you're at this, SF158 is pretty tough to survive. So, but this if you get to SF160, you'll probably be able to survive after a certain level in SF144. And the last thing I want to talk about is what dailies I do, moving forward. So on these alts specifically, when I was leveling it up, so I didn't always be in SF180, but I always tried to invest in or do a few of these alts to using dailies. So maybe 2 or 3, and this is exactly what I did. So I tried to get, let's see right here. I tried to get these 2 for sure, but then the extra step. So if my alt was level, my bishop is level 174, I think. Yeah. So if I was trying to get this to SF 175 or to level 175 to be another elite dungeon, daily dungeon mule, I would do Dimensions Invasion, and then I would do this daily. So after your level 140, you're going to get these dailies. And so I'll show you kind of the bang for your buck. And that's how I got all these lower ones as well to SF140. Yeah, so I'll show you my Wind Archer. And this is just doing your symbols, just doing your dailies. They're auto battle, they're easy, they're free. So let's see. Daily dungeon, use a teleport rock. And it's nice with these teleport rocks. You can just like, it's just free. So it's going to go. And you'll see at the bottom, I am at, let's see, 31.33 EXP. Oh, I don't even know. Yeah, so I'm at 31.33, and it's going to give me a good amount of EXP. And it does, oh, I don't even have pots. Pets. Oh no. So these are a little time consuming, but you can just do auto battle, set it and forget it, right? That's the nice thing. And then again, if I were to try to actually level this up using dailies, I would do these 4. So, and Dimension Invasion gives a ton of EXP at these lower levels, so you definitely want to take advantage of that. And this one gives a lot as well. I think you're going to see it's about 10% per quest cleared. And obviously you can manual these because that's why I'm not picking up any of these things. Hello? Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Come on, let me go down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm lagging. Get me pick that one up. Yeah, this is the issue that I have when I stream. Don't let me die. Don't let me die. Grab that one, please. Yes. All right. So you'll see, geez, 31.34, 41.32. So yeah, 10%. So that's an easy 10%, 20% after I do this one. And then after I do these dailies, you'll see that it's a ton. See for yourself, right? And you can do this all the way up to 170, and it's fast, super fast. So that is sort of how I leveled up my Legion. Again, SF 180 is excessive. Do whatever works for you, but definitely do these dailies. Do the 4 weekly. If you can do 6, that's even better. Where with the Expedition and the monster hunts, and then your daily quest for being level 140 and beyond. And these are super easy. So yeah, this one's gonna finish up in a little bit. But yeah, after this, I'll be right back, and then we're gonna go dive into a little bit about how the game has progressed. I always like to look back and remember the game has improved a lot recently. So we got to always appreciate and remember instead of just kind of complaining about what we don't have, right? So 3 more kills, and there you go. And then I got up to easy 20% EXP doing nothing. I'll be right back. All right, before we get into the revisiting the past sort of year of patch notes, I wanted to show you what my Win Archer got with doing just the 4 out of guild attendance, 4 out of 6. So currently, before I did that, I was at 51.30 XP. Just doing those 3 dailies, Dimension Invasion, Elite Dungeon, and Daily Dungeon, I got to 68.16. So that's huge. I'm just going to join the Explorer Guild. Attendance completed. And then I go from 68% all the way up to 79%. So what was that, 50 something percent from starting the day? Not too bad, not too bad. And that's free, dailies, auto battle, things like that, right? So try to do them as much as you can, whatever is your limit. I tell people, however much you can manage in a day, right? I don't think that like going, some days I really enjoyed the Legion and I would do this type of things, the 4 out of 6 on, 10 alts when I have time. And then other days I'll do like on 1 or 2, right? So kind of pace yourself, enjoy the process. And that is what I recommend for Legion. Kind of how I got there, doing dailies and things like that. All right, now we're going to get into the patch notes. So this is easy to get to, right? This is just all the patch notes from MapleStory Mobile. This is how I look at it. And so this is start from a year ago. Patch notes for June. We talked about it. How last podcast, how June had 2 updates, right? Dream Defender, Battle Analysis, huge, pretty solid updates. And then V3 obviously came out end of June, 6/28. So that for us hopefully comes similar time. Expecting it, well, now that it's June 13th, Thursday, middle of the month, we're expecting it to come end of the month, similar to this. So expect it to come probably, 2 weeks from now. V3, because that's going to be the June update as well. So that's going to come out. There's always, July always comes out with a new boss or a new class. And this was interesting, right? So it's crazy to think about how 10 months ago, Solo Lotus came out. And if you're ever wondering as well what kind of events we're going to get, check this out. But I remember that I tell people recently all the time, like, if you can save your package spending for this event, do it, right? The Sunshine event, because that is sort of the summer moon fragment event where you get cash back essentially, right? Actually, this one isn't even that great. This is just for all of these things, the banners, the mount, the damage skin. I assume this is going to be similar for the anniversary. So just be aware of that's going to come out. And then in July, August, yeah. And then, here, this is what I'm talking about, sorry. Full Moon Party event. So I remember last year, they were milking the crap out of this. They were the Sunshine event for the anniversary, and then Full Moon Party came back out, and Exaltation improvement. So this was a pretty big one, right? We had new classes, Kana and Cadena, come out 2 months apart. So I assume that's going to be very similar as well. Great time to get your Legion up. Great time to get these like fashion content, burning events, get your Legion up. And then Full Moon Party. Yeah. So is this the one? Moon Candy Shop. Maybe it wasn't. Huh. Full Moon Party event. Okay, maybe that wasn't what I thought it was. But yeah, kind of looking back at this, pretty underwhelming, right? So we had 2 classes come out within 2 months. Halloween, that's always one event. Arc single mode came out. Land Cat, another collab. New class again. So in the past, so if you're into new classes, getting your Legion up, this is something we have to look forward to. We have Mihail, I think is what it's called. Butcher that probably. Kane. I think Hayato is something that KMSM has as well. I think those are 3 that are updated. I think there's probably more as well that I'm missing. But we should expect more new classes to come out. Hopefully some changes to like Commander, right? Expect Will to come out soon, kind of similar to here. Wonder if they're going to do it in August or end of the year. And then maybe some changes, hopefully some changes to like Damien and Lotus to make it easier, reduce HP, reduce damage of the attacks, kind of similar to how they improved commanders here. I know this is a Exaltation improvements. How did I miss this one? Where did that go? It must have been something really small that just went right past. Commander, Cadena, Mega Burning, Moon Candy, Moon Candy, Moon Candy, Cash Shop, Secondary Weapon, new packages. Where are the exaltation improvements? There's got to be something in here, right? Oh, what? How did I miss that? Okay, so you can see like these are like the thing about the patch notes is there's like hidden stuff in here, right? Exaltation improvement. It's like a one-liner where this was just added cap. So yeah, we got added exaltation here. This was just nice free extra cap. I'm curious, and I doubt that they're gonna make that change here this coming year, but I wonder if they're gonna increase the base cap. That's something we've been waiting for. We haven't had that change in a while, but we have had big exaltation improvements in the past year, and as well as like the getting cap from increasing Legion and from individual guild skills. Maybe, I mean, the cap is just such a big gap, but base cap is for everybody. It improves everybody across the board, free-to-play players to whales. So I hope that is something they'll implement in this coming year. But yeah, it's crazy just to look back. Yeah, individual skills is something I talked about. Another exaltation improvement. So that was that was first year of 2024. And it's funny looking back at this. I don't really do a lot of prep when I think of these topics. But so I'm kind of seeing this as you guys are seeing it now and reacting in live time. But yeah, normal Damien, that was a big win, I think. A nice bridge because, man, normal Damien, hard Damien, the gap is still pretty massive. This one is nice as well. Max damage cap here. Oh, this is what it was. Yeah, so this is something like I forgot about this, and this just happened in beginning of this year where Exalt increase went from 5 to 7, and they have this little added stuff to let you know what your bonus. Yeah, 30%. Yeah, we've been there. So, and I like this silhouette thing as well. A nice little quality of life change. Damn, this just happened at the beginning of the year. So, little like one-liners, kind of a small snippets make a big difference, right? And they kind of just get lost in the shuffle of patch notes or forgotten. Cygnus Knights remaster. Yeah, that one was huge. Yeah, crazy. So this year, like starting off the year, new boss, normal Damien mode, big win, right? 2 extra cuts for exaltation. Cygnus Knights remasters, love that for them. New boss, another new boss, Lucid, came out. Morass, the new area, new region. Ho Young, a new class. Royal style. So nothing really crazy. And then Kanahe, the collab. So it's kind of been insane to look at like the last year, how much has just the end of last year, the last 6 months. We have a lot of things to kind of look forward to and hope for, right? Last year, they had 3 new classes the second half of the year. Kana, Cadena, and Adele. Pretty crazy. And then they also had exaltation improvements twice. Now, I don't expect that to happen this year, but maybe something else in the same realm. Maybe we didn't have a rebalance in the end of 2023, so maybe we'll get another rebalance there. That would be pretty nice. Obviously, V4 is coming up. So there's a lot to look forward to, in my opinion. But whenever you try to look forward, try to look back first and appreciate what has been improved, right? Like Cygnus Knights remaster, new bosses are coming out pretty frequently, even if it's just like Lotus, normal mode Damien, right? Lucid, like those are still changes, right? And we should expect something similar. Arc single mode. So I think these last few months have been pretty dry, so I hope it picks up. But it's always a nice reminder to look and then remember this only happened 6 months ago. This only happened 3 months ago, right? It feels like it's been forever since we had guild individual skills, and that just came out beginning of this year. And so when I talk to newer players or like people that are just coming back, it's kind of refreshing to be like, oh, dang, you didn't know about that? Like you didn't know about like the cap changes. You didn't know about the 7 cuts. You didn't know about guild skills, like arc single mode, all these things that have been implemented just in the past year. There's a lot. There's been a lot. And so just there's going to be more coming in the next 6 months. There's going to be more coming in the next year. And we're going to look back again at this same time and be like, next one. For all the faults, I get it, right? All the things we complain about. I mean, they're pushing out content, right? And they're pushing out stuff, and it's kind of nice, even though it feels like a dead period, which, you know, maybe it is for a certain amount of people. Like, I still try to remind myself that it's just not about the mega whales, right? Like, my Demon Slayer is still going through some stuff. It's kind of reaching that level. There's still a lot of the community that still is like doing Arc, right? Still doing Lotus, right? And just starting to get into Damien, right? So there's still a large part of the community that is benefiting from all these things. And so I just try to, you know, remind myself that it's not just always about the 1% of the 1%, but this also benefits, you know, the 80, 90, 95% of the community as well. So I always thought that was fun to look back. I guess my favorite thing this past year has to be, like, for me personally, I like the new bosses and the exalt stuff, especially the 7 cuts. It feels like that was pretty nice. The battle analysis is something I use on a daily basis that I don't even think about, but it's just kind of part of my routine now. It's crazy to think that only happened a year ago as well. And then I really love that silhouette. That was kind of a quality of life change in one of these ones that we looked at. And then, but yeah, let me know in the comments below what you kind of enjoyed or remembered of the past year. And if you just go back, like, shoot, even to the 2023, the beginning. I mean, we got Damien, we got character rebalances, we got Chaos Absolab in 2023. It feels like a long time, but it's only been less than a year and a half since we've got Absolabs and Chaos and Damien and things like that. So insane. Time flies. But I'll be right back, and we're going to go check out a new character that I think is that needs some love. Needs some love and appreciation and some showcasing. I'll be right back. All right, so we're back, and we got a Kaiser gameplay. Excited to share this one. I think Kaisers are one of the more underrepresented warriors, probably with Iran and Blasters right now. But I think they are, well, we'll see, right? I think they can be very strong, very tanky as well. And so this is one that I found. This is Omni, the Kaiser. Check him out. I'll put the link in the description below so you guys can check out. He's got all kinds of great content. They just got this is their first hard Damien pass. So congrats to them. He has Lucid videos. He has normal Damien videos. I just saw that he hit his Absol gloves as well. So shout out to him. And you can see his CP is 1.1 billion. So this guy is decked out pretty insane. And I'm curious what his cap is at, but I mean, if you love, they're cranking, holy moly. But if you love, like, I just love the armor and the dragon form of Kaisers. And one of the things that, if you don't know about Kaisers, is they have, when they're in this dragon form, they can actually teleport. So you see them teleporting right there back and forth. And they have what is known as, you'll see right here, the 28 minutes. They have like a battle stance that's more offensive and a defensive stance. And they can toggle it on and off depending on the situation, what they want to do. But the defensive stance, I remember doing it, is basically they take reduced damage. So everything would just tick less overall, right? And this was but I think he decided to go offense here. They probably needed his DPS. And Yeah, that's offense for sure. That's a sword. And so a little bit about what I know from the Kaisers, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I played it previously, is first of all, this guy is tanky, 260k HP. I love the silhouette around him with the flames and stuff. It looks badass. And his skin with the demon skin and that tiger black skin, I'm not going to lie, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So I'm looking at his wheel right now. He basically has one preset, which is that wings and the Giga Wave. And then his top right skill is his hyper. That's a iframe, 30-second iframe. And then the middle one, so he used it right there. And then the middle one is impenetrable skin. All the warriors have that. That is another iframe as well. So they have two iframes, right? And then they have a teleport and they're tanky. And right here, looks like he manuals his big cooldowns. So weapon aura is shown. That's the middle left preset with the yellow C above it. I assume that's his guardians. So you'll see a little bit of the guardians right here. Those are just clones doing big damage. So they actually have pretty good burst, and that is this skill right here. That is, it's a 2-minute cooldown, 180 second, so 3-minute or 2-minute duration, 180 second cooldown. So it's up quite a bit, right? It's got pretty good burst. You can see there he's second in damage. Looks like his cap is probably pretty dang high though. I feel like that's higher than, probably on par with mine. I can't really do the math right now, but yeah, you see essentially his attacks are, his rotation is pretty straightforward. And I think most of his big cooldowns are like passives and proc on their own. But yeah, I like that with the wings and the red silhouette. It looks pretty clean. And you see his little dragons right here following him. So it moves with him. These three right here. So if he's not attacking, they're not attacking, I think. Unless they just get close to the boss and they'll attack on their own. Ooh. That was unfortunate. But yeah, so it looks like this, he had the little eruption on the ground as well that showed up. Nice, blinked up and over so he didn't die from, oh, that was clean. He was about to die. He blinked up and over and he got his PE to heal him back to full. So that was a nice move right there. And dang, that aggro was cranking. I think when I looked at it, it was a Lumi. But yeah, the rotation is pretty straightforward. It attacks really fast too, I think. The one biggest issue is that I think just their line count is about maybe slightly less than like a hero or a DK. They don't really have like a big burst like a DK does, but it's more like consistent. And as long as they're attacking, they can do pretty good damage. And I think their clones are okay. I think they may not cap, but they're pretty versatile. With their different battle stance and their defensive stance. You can see he's got a ton of HP, but I think also if he's in defensive stance, you can have more HP as well. So that's something to look into if you're a Kaiser. Want to be a little tankier, maybe under-geared, you can switch to that stance. You'll take less damage, you'll have more HP and defense and things like that. And so there's the eruption right there. Kind of looks like a rotted on the ground. Oh, nice. Heaven's Door saved him there. But I think Kaisers are so unique. Like with the teleports, like they don't have a dash. So when they're not in dragon form, they don't have a dash. But their double jump is good. And obviously they have a teleport. There's the eruption again. Uses V3 there to survive. Moving for orbs. Looks like he is not using fair trade. Yeah, unfortunate orb bag goes here. Look, he's attacking from pretty far. He's got a good range. I love the look right there, though. That like fits like a Kaiser perfectly with the red. And that sword just matches perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Oh, unfortunate there, but they're in a good spot here. I think they just got to focus on orbs, do a little bit better. I'm sure it's a little chaotic, of course, at the end, but he is, from a Kaiser's perspective, he has good like options right here. He has both his iframes up available still if he wanted to use them, which is nice. He has his dragon form back up, so he's much more mobile, and he's gonna have his huge damage coming up. So I think, yeah, that skill is what allowed him to be in dragon form, right? So I just want to watch this back. I know there's a skill that automatically gets you into dragon form. I'm not sure if he has it on his pet or not, or if it's that top left skill, but like you can have dragon form up for quite a long time. No, it doesn't. Yeah. So I mean, he's in his dragon form for quite a bit, and as long as you're attacking and standing there too, you can proc in and get it back up. It's this gauge right here that sort of fills, and you automatically go into dragon form, and it lasts for a long time. I think it's like 90 seconds with hypers, so it's actually a ton. And here they are bursting it down right here. He's got all his cooldowns back up, popping it immediately, weapon aura, his dragons, and they're just cranking through, right? He's gonna have his burst up for the last minute. They just a little bit, orbs are a little bit crazy. I'm sure people are just trying to maximize DPS and forgetting about orbs, but there you go, perfect. They moved, and now they're just gonna clean it up, finish it off, burst it through. Oh, this is exciting. They must have been so hyped in voice chat on their first run. 8 lives left too. Killed it. So DPS 588. Jeez, that Lumi absolutely crushed. But yeah, that was so he did about 60 bill DPM. First clear. That's honestly really good because he's not using fair trade as well. So he's probably not getting the full like crit res. Maybe he is if he has high enough crit rate. But I mean, huge stress. Yeah. I bet, dude. But I mean, the first one is always the hardest. Congrats to them. And he played really well. He only died once, and he just cycled through his iframes, his dragon form, and things like that. You can see how fun and badass it looks too. I'm not gonna lie, Kaisers are insane to look at, and I love like the swords right here that fly above their head. That is just cool. Get the picture in. Go in dragon form. That'd be sick if we went to dragon form. But yeah, congrats to them. I mean, this is Kaiser's at the highest level. I mean, his gear is insane. Finished second on the team in hard Damien. You can tell the survivability is there. The mobility is fun. Just looks badass as well. I think Kaisers are a very cool class. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of fun playing it. For me, I think the teleports were a little bit clunky at times. Maybe it improved, but it just wasn't as like responsive and smooth as like a dash. But once you get the hang of it and get used to that, I think it's very effective and mobile. And they attack very fast. You could see that the Giga Wave and their main attacks, they move fast, so you can be pretty reactive. You have 2 iframes as well. You're in dragon form a lot, and your burst is not the greatest, but it's consistent, right? It's a long duration, 6. You can dragon form up for a long time. I hope it's called dragon form. Saying it out wrong. Dragon form, I think is right. And then you have your clones, those guardians that pop up. Those last for a long time too. So they handle a lot of situations very well, and I'm excited to see how like the more content he posts. Again, I'll post his description down below for those Kaiser players. Let him know. Let him know if you want to know about anything. I'm sure he's probably the best Kaiser in the game, I think, that I've seen, and he's putting out great DPS. And you'll see like he has Lucid where he's top DPS. Normal Damien where he's right up there as well. So yeah, I highly recommend checking out his channel. And here it is right there, Omni Kaiser. He's got everything. He's got normal Damien, Lucid, hard Damien, Lucid again. Like he posts his stuff, and I love to see it. Cleared Mulong 45 if you need it. Right? Guild Honor battle. So If there's any other Kaisers, definitely let me know in the comments below. But this guy seems to be subscribed, dude. I like watching new content. And I got to find these guys. Like, I find them and watch their videos and showcase them. So appreciate him for posting content. Kaisers doing great damage, doing great work. Congrats on the hard Damien. And I think sweet surprise at the end, he's getting some gear as well. So thank you for watching. Hopefully by next podcast, we'll get some teasers for V4 or something coming out. But until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Let me know if you guys like this sort of format where I'm showcasing a little bit more of my gameplay dailies. Let me know if you want me to see any sort of free-to-play stuff in general that you want me to showcase, I guess, in on my Paladin or things like that. So let me know and what class you want me to showcase next, and we'll get into it. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.